You sit down for homeschool and your phone buzzes. A message from a friend, a new notification, just one quick check. But before you know it, the math lesson is paused, the toddler is waiting, and somehow you're scrolling Instagram wondering why every other mom seems to have it together. Mama, here's the truth no one really says. Social media might be quietly destroying your homeschool. Not because it's evil in itself, but because of the way it steals your presence, your peace, and your priorities. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how it happens and, more importantly, the simple shifts you can make today to protect your homeschool from distraction and discouragement. I'm Wendy, a homeschooling mama of 6 and creator of Plan, Prep, Pray, and I know firsthand how easily it is to get caught in the scroll. There were so many days I thought I was just taking a quick break, but instead I came back distracted, comparing my kids to someone else's, or frustrated because my home didn't look like the reel I just watched. And here's what I realized. It wasn't just stealing my attention, it was stealing my peace. That's why this video matters so much right now, because your homeschool doesn't need to look like anyone else's highlight reel. It needs you, present, grounded, and focused on the kids God has given you. And if you want more encouragement like this, don't forget to subscribe. Plus, I've linked my free workshop, 5 Tiny Habits for a Peaceful Home, down in the description. It's packed with practical, gospel-centered habits to protect your peace. Think of social media like a leaky faucet in your home. It doesn't gush all at once. It drips. A notification here, a quick scroll there. And before you realize it, those little drips have drained your attention, your energy, your presence with your kids. I can't tell you how many times I've sat down for a lesson, my child asked a question and my phone buzzed, and I thought, I'll just check this one thing really quick. But 5 minutes later, I was still scrolling, my child was still waiting, and the moment was gone. And even after I put the phone down, my mind was still stuck in what I just saw. And here's the thing, it's not just about homeschool time. When our default is to keep the phone within reach, we miss the everyday moments too. The chance to step in and guide our kids when siblings are squabbling so that they can actually learn conflict resolution. The joy of watching them giggle together and recognizing God's goodness in that moment. The simple habit of reading a book and letting our children see that modeled. If the time on our phones isn't intentional, if it's not planned and purposeful, then it usually turns into an escape from our reality. And when we escape, we lose the very moments God is giving us to teach, to connect, and to delight in our kids. That's why during homeschool, and honestly during much of the day, I try to put my phone in another room. Even just 30 minutes of undistracted presence changes the atmosphere in our home. And presence isn't the only thing that social media steals. It also stirs something in our hearts that can be even more destructive. Have you ever noticed how after a quick scroll, you suddenly feel different about your homeschool? I can be sitting at my table, toddler melting down, math lesson taking forever, and then I scroll past another mom with perfectly dressed kids, a spotless schoolroom, and a morning basket that looks like it came straight off of Pinterest. And instantly, I feel behind, like what I'm doing isn't enough. But it can swing the other way too. Sometimes I see the hot mess mama reels, and instead of feeling encouraged, I catch myself thinking, well, at least I'm doing better than her. Or I tell myself, see, I don't really need to try harder or listen to that nudge the Lord's been giving me. Other moms are just as messy as me. Either way, the result is the same. Social media keeps me from seeing clearly. I'm either beating myself up or I'm settling for less than what God is calling me to, instead of walking faithfully in my lane. And here's why. These platforms are designed to feed us highlight reels and extremes, not the full picture. So when I compare my messy real life behind the scenes to someone else's carefully curated reel, whether perfect or chaotic, I lose sight of the goodness God is already doing in my life. That's the quiet way social media destroys our peace. It feeds comparison, and comparison blinds us either to gratitude or to growth. So here's the shift. Be intentional about what you consume. Follow people who encourage you and point you back to truth, and gently mute the ones that stir up discontentment or make you settle for less, because what you feed your mind is what you'll start to believe. And even if you've learned to guard your heart against comparison, there's still one more way social media sneaks in and steals from us. Have you ever ended a day and thought, I didn't have time to read with the kids or get that science project done or even sit and rest? And then you realize you somehow found time to scroll? I've been there. I've told myself I don't have time for read aloud today, and then notice I just spent 45 minutes on Instagram. And here's the kicker. It didn't even leave me feeling rested. Instead of feeling filled, I felt more drained. That's the sneaky thing about social media. It promises a quick break, but it doesn't actually refresh you. It drains your energy while stealing your minutes. And those minutes matter because every 10 minutes online is 10 minutes you could have spent on what you actually long for: connection with your kids, a quiet moment with the Lord, or even just taking a deep breath. And this isn't just theory. Studies show that the average adult spends over 3 hours a day on their phone. 3 hours. Imagine what even half of that time could become if we redirected it towards the things that matter most. That's the quiet way social media steals from us. It doesn't just take our attention or our joy, it devours our time and energy. So here's the shift. Instead of reaching for your phone as an escape, choose a real reset. Whether you're reading a psalm or a proverb, or step outside for fresh air, play a short game with your kids. Those are the kinds of breaks that actually refuel you instead of draining you. Social media has a way of slipping into our days, first with our attention, then with our peace, and finally with our time. And if we're not careful, it slowly shapes the story of our homeschool and our home more than we realize. But here's the good news. You don't have to let it in. God has called you to be present, to shepherd hearts, and to enjoy the kids He's placed right in front of you. And His mercies are new, not just every morning, but every moment, which means you can put the phone down right now, reset, and step back into what matters. If this encouraged you, make sure you're subscribed for more gospel-centered tips on homeschooling and home life. And if you're ready to go deeper, grab my free workshop, 5 Tiny Habits for a Peaceful Home. It's linked below, and it's full of simple, grace-filled habits that will help you build rhythms that protect your peace and your presence. You've got this, mama. Let's trade distraction for connection, and I'll see you in the next one.